Hello and welcome to the New Normal with Steve Benaquist. I'm New Normal and this is the Steve Benaquist. Well, hello and welcome to the New Normal Lounge. Just sitting here with a little wooden guy, the Himalayan sea salt lamp, and a steaming cup of decaf Earl Grey tea. Because, word of the wise, this show is not taped at noon. It is taped about 12 hours earlier, frankly. It's almost the opposite of noon. Anyway, we have a lot coming up on the show today, and let me just read you the table of contents. Is time speeding up? Scientists weigh in, although knowing their weight isn't really going to help answer that question. More on that later. Next, we have the COVID relief bill, basically proposed last August, with that little chunk taken out and given in November, or whatever it was. Why are Republicans blocking it? Do they think politics is a sport? And are they right? More on that later. And your letters. More on that later. And now...
Hey, whoa, Steve, no update on Lady Gaga? Lady Gaga Daga Waka?
This is my executive producer, Lyle Gerber. What's this you're talking about?
You know, the big story, Lady Gaga Daga Waka.
I don't really do celebrity news, Lyle.
It's Lady Gaga! News don't get bigger than Lady Gaga Daga Waka! Come on!
That's not what we do on this show, all right? With all due respect, I'm not wasting time.
Steve, you're wrong on this. It's a big story, big star about cute dogs, man's best friend. Hello? What's the hero Daga Waka?
He's a dog walker. Stop saying it like that.
Plus, there's a happy ending.
Well, there you go. You said it, so I don't have to. The dogs were returned, and the Daga Waka is making a full recovery.
In your touch, Steve. You could have made a whole analogy about how the attack and dog napping is like the attack on the Capitol, and now, thank God, order is restored and the world is going to be okay. Just like Lady Gaga Daga Waka.
That's pretty good, Lyle.
Right, it's good. And you know what else is good? A hot, steaming wabba bowl.
Thank you, Lyle Gerber. I'll give you something hot and steaming next time I see you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing.
Ooh.
Nothing, don't worry about it. All right. Despite Lyle's pushing, the New Normal is not sponsored by Waba Grill or anybody. We do accept donations, contributions from you, the viewers. You can pick yourself up a New Normal shirt if you want. The links are all in the description below this video on YouTube. And while you're at it, why don't you like and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Watch some old ones. We got 107 before this one. And more coming every week. That's all for business. Moving on. Time. Is it speeding up? Now, this is not scientifically proven yet, but there are theories. Just as the universe is said to be expanding, I haven't witnessed it personally. Actually, LA seems to be getting more crowded, if anything, but they do say it's expanding. And I say, have you noticed how time seems to be passing much more quickly since around January 20th? Give or take, I don't know why. It's been already 6 weeks, and it just seems like time is firing by. And conversely, do you remember how slowly it seemed to go from around November 3rd until January 20th? It just seemed to drag. I don't know. If any scientists are watching, Bradley Bobbs, we do have also Quantslob, knowing about statistics. Perhaps if you want to weigh in, please do tell us how much you weigh, but also if you want to talk about this issue, be happy for your explanation. And moving on, the GOP, the grand old party. It's kind of pathetic that we actually call one of the two parties by that nickname, and probably explains why they think it's okay to say the Democrat Party. I'm surprised they haven't shortened it to Krats by now. Anyway, they're blocking this bill, which it contains help for individuals who haven't gotten a check other than a $600 one 4 months ago. And before that, it was 6 months before their last $1,200 check. The bill also extends relief, additional supplements to people's unemployment check. This is the most unemployed this country's been since the Great Depression, and not to mention tons of other things. protections for businesses, and help for states individually. And it can't be that, and I won't call them red states because there's no such thing, but places in the country that are represented by members of the Republican Party, um, it can't be that those places aren't hurting. We know they are. In fact, that huge cold snap, Mississippi and Texas, I'd say, lifted their COVID restrictions in a desperate attempt to make sort of a populist appeal, but also to make life easier in some ways. Like, it'll just feel easier, even if people actually are endangering themselves and each other by not wearing masks and going to bars and restaurants. But those places are hurting, and hey, death comes to us all. It'll just come a little sooner from COVID in those places, I'm sad to say. But I have a theory. It's not because those places aren't hurting and the people living in those states can't use a check. It's that Republicans see politics as a sport, essentially. And I think with the 24-hour news cycle of the last 20, almost 30 years, a lot of citizens see politics that way too. Although in moments where you're really feeling stuff personally and individually and the effect of politics on your life, like whether or not you're getting that check, whether or not there's the Affordable Care Act, I think the veil should be lifted and we should be able to see that it's not a game. But with them, even the January 6th insurrection was, it's like when, what's his name, Teasman, when his leg snapped right through the bone right out of his leg. I'm talking NFL here. And I assume they finished the game, right? So just the most horrific things can happen, and for some people, it's all still just a game. Anyway, I don't even really want to talk about the news much. I will get to a letter, and I think you'll enjoy it. Then maybe some more news. We'll see. This one comes to us from Halifax, Nova Scotia. Helifat in Halifax. And Helifat says, Dear Steve, I love the new normal. Digging it up here in Canada. However, your hair is hella inconsistent. One day it's part on the side, other days you have bangs. Other times when you appeared to be drunk or going crazy, it was all messy. What's up with that, bro? By the way, you may be confused by my moniker and also the fact that I'm prone to use the prefix hella as an intensifier, as that is more commonly used in the Bay Area of California, San Francisco, San Jose, etc. Yet here I am in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Am I from the Bay Area and fitting in terribly in this area where people don't understand when I use the prefix hella to intensify an adjective? Or am I quite overweight and just find that Helifat and Halifax have kind of a nice ring to them? You may notice that I spell Helifat with a PH, but I'm still going to keep you guessing. There's a mystery for you, Steve. P.S. Get it together with your hair. Lovingly, Helifat and Halifax. Can a guy have a little fun mixing up his style? Helifat. By the way, I like your moniker, and I hope you're a misfit and that you're, I don't know, maybe you like fly beats. Who knows? And I could talk more about news or read more letters, but I'm so sick of reacting to the outside world. I'm instead going to take you on a little journey into a cinematic corner. That's probably not a good title for this segment, but we'll just call it, well, it is alliterative, but it doesn't sound like it is. All right. But it's 2 C's, cinematic corner. Anyway, I decided I had to fill in some gaps in my classic films. You ever do that? You go look for a movie that you know you should have seen, and you didn't. And I went back 20... That's right, I burped. 24 years, 1997. On my streaming service was available a movie that I had thought was going to be stupid, had been overhyped, and would be cheesily acted. And in fact, none of that was true, and all of it was true. I'm talking about Face Off, ladies and gentlemen. John Woo directing, Nick Cage, John Travolta. But in his already the cracks are showing. He's back from because of Pulp Fiction, but you're like, Travolta is very likable, but he can only do so much if there's no dancing involved. Nick Cage can do a lot, but he was also making movies like, I guess The Rock was the next year. He was a little hit and miss. John Woo was unknown to me, but I knew there were tons of guns, and I thought, I don't know, is this going to be dumb? And everyone was talking about it, and I missed it for 24 years. So spoilers ahead. And I mean that because, hey, I put it off for 24 years, so maybe some of you will too, or will have. But put aside your concerns and see it, because I'll tell you, Nick Cage is every bit as over the top as you want him to be. And yet, and I'll get to this, he is called upon to show some subtlety, and he does it like you know he can. Travolta is a sort of wooden cop, sort of a boring character who, he's just a dedicated, FBI dude who's always on super villain, super criminal Cage's tail. And will he be able to rise to the challenge of doing anything interesting? We'll see. Are there lots of guns? John Woo, it's this sort of, it was John Woo's first American film, and it has this undercurrent of all like Hong Kong movie stuff, which is like, it's believable that there's a surgery where you can swap faces and there's no seams. And I don't know what things are like in Hong Kong in 1997, but we had Michael Jackson and soap opera and porn stars with really fucked up looking faces here. So I don't know. That's totally unbelievable. But you suspend your disbelief, and everything is just so. And villains live in giant chateaus and have capes that ripple in the wind, just so. And so they trade faces. I won't even get into why. Actually, that's the thing. I really am not going to do a book report for you. I'm just going to tell you. They trade faces, which means Nick Cage has to portray John Travolta pretending he's the Nick Cage character in a prison. And then Travolta gets the face of Travolta, but it's Cage's villain inside. And then you have to wonder, as I was on the edge of my seat, biting my nails, saying, is Travolta going to ruin this movie by not stepping up and being as crazy as Nick Cage? Just go see it. Just go see it and thank me later. It's so fun. And then John Woo, it's just, and there's good grounding performances around it so it's like a great stuntman taking a fall over the, Jackie Chan's perfect chop to his face. It's the fall that makes it great. These serious people around these crazy performances ground the movie. Anyway, go see it. That's all for this episode of The New Normal. Till next time, I'm Steve Benaquist, urging you to like and subscribe. Throw us a little dough if you want. And remember that if it ain't new, it ain't normal.